Good morning, everyone. Almost afternoon. Thank you for making the trek down here in these COVID times. So really appreciated. I'd like to thank TCG for giving us the opportunity to get back in the swing of things, get back in with the partners. I think in the last year, we've definitely missed interacting with you guys and having the opportunity to hear your ideas and kind of, help us get better. So we really appreciate it. Thank you. So my name is Amrit Laxman. I'm here with our Director of Sales today. It's Brian Miller. Brian's your point of contact for all our channels, so I encourage you to reach out to him with any questions. What I want to do today was just talk about our company a little bit. Not everyone's familiar with us. We've been with TCG since about 2018, I want to say. And we offer a VoIP product. It's a little bit different than what the run-of-the-mill is. We're really focused on the customer experience, on making sure the solutions are reliable, so I'd like to touch on that a little bit. We also did an acquisition last year, so I'd like to talk a little bit about that and some of the new products that we have that I think you guys will be interested in, especially with the age of remote work that's not going away. And then just talk about two quick case studies just to give you an idea of kind of how we work with our customers and the experience that you can expect from us. All right? So I'm going to lead off with like the three big things that I like to emphasize. I am one of the founders, by the way, and this is kind of our philosophy going into anything that we do with the partners or with anybody else. And the three big things are, sort of a white glove experience, which really starts from when you bring the opportunity to us and the customer's ready to go ahead. It's making sure we have a survey of what's going into the customer's environment, right? Making sure we understand everything from the wiring, where there's jacks, not jacks, what kind of solution they're looking for, how the call should be routing, doing all that work up front. So on the day of the cutover, we're not panicking and trying to figure out, oh, why didn't we catch this the first time around, right? It's working with our partners on doing professional installs. So we're happy to have you or your MSP partner work with us. We'll train them, we'll show them what we want to do. But also we can have our own text that we can send out. If you have an opportunity in a remote location, we can help you get that set up. Or you have, two sites somewhere else, one site here. We can definitely work with you on that. And then the other key part is having a dedicated person on our side who understands your customer. So when they call in, they're not having to explain themselves all over again each time, right? They have somebody who knows their business, knows the people in the business, that kind of experience. The second big thing that we like to build is flexible solutions. And that comes to, something as simple as, I want my 3 buttons on my phone to say XYZ instead of ABC. Maybe something simple, but for the customer, that's really important, right? You don't want to have to tell them, well, this is the way our system does it, too bad, right? So we like to be really flexible, even to the point where we'll change our code. We do have full access to all the layers of our platform. It's all in-house. And we've done that many times where we've changed the way something works because that's the way the customer is used to doing it on their old system, right? We also have a really experienced engineering staff that can help us make those transitions. And the second part is also in the way we partner with you guys. So obviously deals come in all shapes and sizes. We're happy to look at our pricing models, look at what you're trying to get to, and say, okay, yeah, we can make a concession here, or we can make this work in a different way so that you can close the business. And the last one, which is obviously the most important, is making sure things work. So that comes to watching our own infrastructure, but also to watching our clients' infrastructure. So we'll actually go out. We have monitoring systems that ping all our client locations. They'll tell us when there's an issue, if there's a QoS issue, something else. We will engage with you or directly with ISP, get it fixed, and just keep the customer in the loop so they're not chasing 10 different people to fix this problem, right? At the end of the day, the customer just wants it to work. And that's what we try to do, and make it as easy as possible. And the last one's really this idea of having in-house support. We're available 24/7. We have a quick dial code in any phone that just goes right into our support. We already shows your account number. You don't have to go through that whole rigmarole. Just so that when there is a problem, we're proactive. We're trying to get it fixed as soon as possible. All right. 2020 was obviously a very exciting year for many people, maybe a little bit more so for us. We closed an acquisition with Next Vortex's hosted solution in March of 2020, so coming up just on a year now. We acquired their technology platforms as well as their data center locations and their development and support staff. So all those people came over. It's really helped us provide continuity as we bring their customers into our platform. And our goal going forward is obviously to offer our commitment to service along with their technology pieces. So kind of put the two together so we get the best of both worlds, right? The second thing we've been doing the last year is really work on our support for remote workers and the idea of these businesses having to change the way they work on a daily basis, right? So somebody calls you today, oh, I got the COVID positive test, so-and-so is gonna work from home. How do we redo our entire sales flow to make this work, right? And so rather than just point them to a website, we're really committed at making the changes, figuring out how their calls work, making sure they don't miss any calls, leverage the reporting, help remote people work from home. A lot of times people have Wi-Fi, they can't plug things into the network, they're having quality issues. Just try to be there for our customers, right? Because everybody's trying to just figure out how this works right now. And the last thing we're doing is also being flexible when it comes to our contracts and billing. So restaurants obviously shut down. We've deferred payments out for multiple clients, until, and this thing's trying to kill me, but all right. So we've deferred our billing out so that these customers can come back on when they're ready, right? So once the restaurants open back up, we can just pick up their billing again. So really try to work with both our partners and our customers to make this successful. Okay. A quick rundown on our features. Obviously, we have a fully hosted UCaaS solution, as Nate pointed out. Auto attendance, ATDs, voicemails, transcriptions, call recording. The two big pieces we've added this year that are a little bit different are both an integrated VoIP app and a cell phone app. The VoIP app, of course, works as a VoIP client, like you would expect. It can work on a tablet, desktop, smartphone, Mac OS, any of those. The cell phone app's a little bit of a wrinkle. Let's say you're in a position where you don't have very good internet. You can still use the cell phone app to make and receive calls through your extension on your cell phone number. And you could be part of a call queue. So for people who are, spotty, not able to do much, like in Texas right now, it's a good solution for them because at least their cell phone number is working, even though if they don't have internet. So it's just a backup. It's a good solution we got. We do offer a full fax solution for people who need fax. HIPAA compliant. It's HTTPS based, fully secure, multiple ways of delivering fax. I want to talk about 3 new products that we brought on. The first one is a really good integration with Teams. So everybody, a lot of organizations these days are moving to a Teams-based setup, at least for internal use. And what we can do is have them use just a single Teams client and still be on the phone system as an extension. So people who don't have Teams can call them as an extension. They will receive the calls on Teams. They can make outbound calls from Teams through the phone system and show the company number. People can reach them on their DID. So it's a nice way to combine sort of the Teams world and a legacy world and still get the best of both. Pricing wise, you would not need a Teams calling plan, which is quite expensive and minute-based. You could still use our, all-you-can-eat plans on the PBX side. So you really just need a Teams license to get this to work. And if you have any questions about that, Brian or myself can definitely help you. The second product we're rolling out is our own web and video conferencing solution. I want to be clear, we're not trying to compete with Zoom, right? This is really about having a rounded out portfolio for our clients who don't want to use Zoom for things. The big benefit of this is it's completely clientless. So that means with just a video, a web link, you can join the conference from any device and it just uses your browser. The other big difference is you can easily brand this. So you could have a meeting link that says, tcg.com/meetwithme. And that could just launch right into the meeting. The client doesn't need to know what platform you're on, doesn't need to see the branding of ours or anything else. They could see just your branding, and they can jump right into the conference. It does have some really neat lobby features, as well as the ability to record multi-channel audio and video. So if you're doing a presentation, you can record the whole thing and cut out all the people who jumped in and said something, and you'd have a clean audio stream just for yourself. So that's another benefit. And the last product I want to touch on is our Cloud Queue Contact Center. So this is a product we got from our acquisition with Next Vortex. It's a really simple web-based contact center. It's probably one of the simplest ones I've seen in terms of management and ease of use for the agents. It's got a ton of features, very easy to deploy. All the demos we've done so far have been really positive. And so it's definitely something I'd be happy to demo for you guys or your clients if you have some clients that are interested in it. Okay. Going to jump into 2 quick case studies, again, just to illustrate really how we work with our clients and our partners. The first one is sort of how we value the relationship from 0, up to many years from now. We don't look at any transaction we get into as a transactional arrangement. We expect that we want to be with that client, 3, 5+ years. So we're happy to make that investment in the relationship. This is a customer we got through TCG. It's Bar Louie, which is a nationwide bar and restaurant chain, about 100+ sites when they first came to us. They had legacy infrastructure. They really couldn't do much in terms of their phone systems. Every site had its own phone system. It was a little bit crazy, very expensive. And what we wound up doing is migrating all their sites over to a hosted VoIP solution in a very short time. I think they had a constraint with their losing provider. It had to be within 60 days. So we really pulled out all the stops to get this done. We've cut their costs down, about at least 50% in going through that. And we also added support for SD-WAN as part of it, so that each restaurant now has got resiliency built in terms of their phone service. And then corollary to this, of course, is with the last 6 months of restaurant business, we've actually worked with them pretty closely in terms of adjusting their billing and helping them work through it in a way that's not cost prohibitive for them. The second one is a sort of unusual case. It's a company called 911 Restoration. Their headquarters is out in California. They run a bunch of franchises across the country for restoration services, but their marketing arm is completely out of California. And they have something like 1,500 phone numbers they advertise on the internet, all local advertising for each different location where there's a franchise. And their big issues, they had like 3 big things. One is they can't miss a call because a call could be $10,000 worth of restoration. A lot of their business is a construction restoration. Somebody floods the 3rd floor of a building, you got to come back in and clean it out right away, right? So that was a huge key for them. And the second one is tracking. So they wanted to be able to track the call at the call center level, at the franchisee level, so the franchisee can go in and get their calls. And then at the marketing level, so they could see all their calls and see which campaigns are working, which ones aren't. So really built them a custom solution that does this, using the pieces that we have, but putting them together in a way that they can control all these aspects. We have multiple levels of failover, both within their facility, multiple internets, as well as going out to outsourced call centers. And the last thing we did with them is they actually brought in a 3rd-party call center just to add to the fun, so they could take late night calls like 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. And all of that's been integrated seamlessly in here. So yeah, just two quick case studies. Those are the kinds of things that we can help you deliver on. So we have customers that are sort of a little bit unusual, need a little bit more attention. Maybe they're not sure what they want or they need someone to help them figure that out. That's really a good fit for us, I think. Right. Last thing I want to point out is, as I said earlier, we do control our whole software stack from the bottom to the top, including the hardware. And so we're happy to build integrations. We've done them for bespoke, homegrown CRMs. We've done them for standard CRMs, of course. But if you have an idea or if you have a vertical or you're trying to help get into, talk to us and we can definitely take a look at it. All right. We are a platinum sponsor with TCG. We're offering 1, 2, 3 times spiff as most people are. And we do have our President's Club this year. We'll be happy to send you out to. So 200 seats qualifies, and Brian could definitely give you more detail on that. All right. Well, I am going to stop talking for a minute. If there's any questions, I'll take them. Yeah. Hey, Benny.
Regarding the web and the video conferencing, is it like a link that you just send and they just click the link?
Yep.
They don't have to download anything?
Don't have to download. It's purely WebRTC based. It can work on a cell phone or a desktop. You click the link. It asks you for your name as a guest login. Right, you log in and you're in. You can share your video, not share your video. You can share screens, right? You can, as a moderator, you can mute people, see who's muted, all those things. There's also push to talk. So if you're in a noisy car, you can just push when you want to talk, let go, it automatically mutes. Right. Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I was wondering if, with your customization, have you ever configured a system as a square key system?
A square key system, sir? In terms of like emulating a key system? Yeah. We've done a lot of stuff. 10 lines? Yep, where everybody like a bridge line system? Yeah, we've done emulations of that. It doesn't do native key technology, but I've done emulations where they can pick up a call that's held on one phone by pushing the name and picking it up. So things like that we have done. We are, yes, sir. Yes.
CRM integration.
Yes, so we can do Salesforce, a few others. We're working on a HubSpot one right now, also Zoho. But if you have one, typically they all have REST APIs these days, and we have the hooks in our software to make those calls. So I could make one, put one in. It's not too bad. Sure.
I have a question.
Yes.
For the contact center, the average, let's say, for pricing, per license,
It's typically between 25 and 30 per seat, and that does get you all those features.
for the you get contact center,
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Benny, did you have another question?
Yeah, this is actually, it's more of a testimonial than a question. So I haven't done anything with 4Voice before. I know they've been a TCG partner for carrier for a couple of years, but I was actually very impressed with Ameren because we have a mutual client. This client actually does the air conditioning for my brother's restaurants, and they take care of the maintenance and all that. And I helped them get Comcast service at a new office they moved into, and he needed some help with backup so that voice fails over, computer fail over to Comcast weak backup solution. And Amherst actually came down on a Saturday morning and spent a good hour or so setting everything up for the client. They had I guess it was like a kind of like another failover
Device, yep.
Or device. And Amherst really took the time and set everything up. I came there to actually, speak with Amherst and just find out a little bit more about 4Voice. And I was just really, really impressed with the level of customer service that they offer their clients. And being that they're local in Boca, that's huge. There's not too many VoIP companies that TCG offers that are local. So the fact that they're local and take such a hand-on approach is incredible because I think, as all of us know, it's nice to sell the carriers that are offering the large 6X, 7X spiffs out there, but at the end of the day, I don't think you want to hear from them every other week about one problem or another. And having somebody like Amber, and 4Voice really taking that hands-on approach is huge for, longevity purposes to keep that client happy. So, who knows? I'm definitely going to be giving work to 4Voice.
Thank you very much, Benny. Much appreciated. All right.
Jen, make sure that Betty wants to be around.
Well, I'd like to thank you all for your attention. Thank you for joining on the webinar. All right. All right. Thank you very much. I'll let Nate come up for the next one. Nate, you're up.